Feel pain, contemplate pain, accept pain, and know pain. Those who don't understand true pain can never understand true peace. Pain, the character that many believe is the best villain in the entire Naruto series, and his arc, the invasion of the Hidden Leaf, is by far the best arc in the series. I cannot blame anybody for thinking this way because he is truly a top tier villain. He is one of those villains that puts fear into the viewer's hearts and speaks so much truth to where the viewer can understand where he's coming from. Pain has some of the coldest lines in the entire series. It feels like every time he opens his mouth to speak, he drops nothing but quotables. It's like we as viewers need a pen and paper to take notes of his legendary quotes. Pain definitely leaves his mark with viewers and with the characters within the story. As a viewer, you feel all types of pain during the invasion arc. There are lots of memorable moments through this arc with Pain. Just to name a few, the fight with Naruto, the fight with Kakashi, and the Shinra Tensei on the Hidden Leaf. But for me, my favorite part of the invasion arc has to be the Cycle of Hatred speech from Pain. Every single year, I go back to rewatch this speech. It is one of my top 5 favorite moments in the series because of the straight truths within this speech. The truths in the Naruto universe, but most importantly, the truths that reflect real life. It is crazy to think that this speech happened in the manga 17 years ago, and it happened in the anime 16 years ago, but it is still relevant to the times of today. I truly believe that the cycle of hatred is timeless. It doesn't matter what time period, past, present, or future, this speech will always be relevant to real life. Let me paint the scene before going to the speech, because the context leading up to the moments matters. To summarize, Pain invades the Hidden Leaf village looking for Naruto. Throughout the invasion, Pain is packing up Hidden Leaf shinobi and civilians. Eventually, he gets the information and decides to leave to where Naruto is. But before he left, he hit the Shinra Tensei on the village, basically nuking the village for those that don't know the reference. Naruto gets summoned during that whole ordeal. So Naruto shows up, he in sage mode, and sees the landscape of the village. It is quite different from what it was before Naruto left the village. Basically, home village is destroyed. Ultimately, they get straight to boxing. Now, I'm going to fast forward through the boxing to the pivotal moment. So Naruto gets pinned on the ground through his hands with one of the Pain black rods after getting universal pulled and hit with a choke slam by Pain. So while pinned on the ground, Naruto angrily asks Pain, "Why are you doing all of this?" Pain responds with, "Things always happen without warning, and the reason why doesn't become apparent until after the fact." Pain then gives a little more detail, saying his goal is to create peace and bring about justice to the world. Mind you, Pain just packed up so many people minutes ago and just seconds ago by packing up Pa, the Sage Toad. So you can understand Naruto's next response is in a more pissed off tone, saying to Pain, "With all the bad things that you have done, don't you dare talk about peace and justice." Pain then responds by asking Naruto about his goal. Naruto basically reminds Pain who he has put 6 feet under, notably Jiraiya and Kakashi, those kind of the closest people to Naruto. Then Naruto says his goal is to put Pain 6 feet under and bring peace back to the world. Okay, y'all, we are here at the moment where the speech begins. Pain's about to respond back to Naruto's answer, basically about, Naruto answering what his goal is in the moment. He wants to basically put Pain 6 feet under. Pain's like, "Oh, I see. That is noble of you. That is justice indeed. However, what about my family, my friends, and my village? They suffered the same fate as this village by your people. How is it fair to only allow you people to preach about peace and justice?" Bang, y'all. That boy Pain came with the heat right here, y'all, because this is an important piece of the story, y'all, because at this point, up into the story, we only got the viewpoint of Naruto and the Leaf. We always saw the Leaf Village and Naruto as the heroes of the story because we never got the viewpoint of the other side, or the other side was strictly in the wrong. When Pain reveals some of his origin here, it tests our viewpoint on the situation in front of us. This different perspective makes us question if Pain is wrong here, and it changes our opinion on Pain from being the evil villain to being the hero of his village and his own story, just like Naruto. This is really the first time in the story where the image of the Leaf Village is tested. Then Pain continues, right? And he's like, "You and I seek the same thing, trying to establish peace. You and I are not so different at all. We are each acting according to our own sense of justice, which is true, right? Pain is basically, delivering justice, what he believes is right, and Naruto is doing the same thing in this moment as well, what he believes is right as well. They are both heroes of their own story. Pain then continues. He's like, the justice I delivered to the leaf is no different from what you are trying to do to me. The pain of losing something dear to you is the same, and both of us know that pain all too well. You have your justice, and I have mine. We are both ordinary men, driven to seek vengeance under the banner of justice. However, if there is justice in vengeance, the justice will only breed more vengeance and trigger a cycle of hatred. That boy Pain is speaking right now, y'all, because what he is talking about here with the cycle of hatred, getting justice in the name of vengeance, is what many religions speak against, about getting justice in the name of vengeance or getting revenge and stuff like that. Because, you get your revenge, they get their revenge, and you end up being in this ping pong match of getting your get back, they getting their get back, and you in this cycle forever. And that's why many religions speak against getting vengeance slash revenge. Pain is speaking right there. Pain is definitely speaking right there. And he's going to continue, right? So we left off, he says, and trigger a cycle of hatred. He jumps into, we know what the past has been, and we can predict what the future will be. That is history as we know it. So we cannot help but believe that human beings are incapable of understanding each other. The world of the ninja is ruled by hatred and hatred alone. And you could say the same thing about the real world as well. What a great speech. Every time I hear this speech, I have just thought about how so many people in the real world could learn so much from this speech. Throughout history and at this moment, as individuals, we look at the country that we reside in as the good guys of the story when it involves conflict. Just like Naruto, before he found out about Pain's history, he only viewed the current situation as Pain being the evil villain. But when he heard how the Leaf Village left ruin to Pain's village, he came to realize that Pain is the hero of his own story. In war, the people that are fighting on both sides ultimately want to protect their family, friends, and their lives. When an individual gets caught in the mindset of my country, and everything we do is always right, you lose a sense of perspective, which can lead to falling into the trap of hatred. On a smaller scale, this speech can resonate with individuals that grew up in the hood. How many people are stuck right now in gang and rap violence in the hood? Many are stuck in that tick for tack mindset, or the other phrase, getting my get back. Just like in the ninja world, the cycle of hatred gets triggered every time when somebody retaliates to get vengeance. Quote unquote, getting my get back in the hood. If these young people in the hood will come to realize that they are only causing more pain to each other and to the others around them. And if they just have a simple conversation with each other, they'll come to realize they are the same. They feel the same pain. They have grown up in the same environment. And they will come to realize that they have more in common than they previously thought. A brighter future for these young people could be on the horizon. Hatred can come up in many forms, not just in war or community violence, but also not letting go of the past or hatred being passed down through the generations. Prime example, look at the States. The country is divided and always at each other's necks, so much so that they cannot get nothing done. You got both sides holding on to the past, so they cannot move forward to a better future. It's like the states are repeating history. You got people in America having hatred for a whole group of people off one bad experience and painting everybody in that group with the same brush. You have individuals that do not even know why they have hate for another group of people. They just carrying past hatred from other generations. It's like Pain said, we know what the past has been and we can't predict what the future will be. That is history as we know it. So we cannot help but believe that human beings are incapable of understanding each other. The last line hits hard because if both sides could understand each other in America, good things would happen. I always like to say when you have two sides fighting each other, the correct answer is somewhere in the middle because both extremes are not the correct answer. Like I said earlier, the Pain cycle of hatred speech is timeless. The messages within this speech is something that is relevant to all times, the past, the present, and the future. Because there are conflicts in the past, the present, and there will be conflicts in the future. How do I know this? Because I know what the past has been, so I can predict what the future will be. There were two reasons why I wanted to make this video. Firstly, I love the cycle of hatred speech. And secondly, I thought the many messages within this speech could help somebody overcome hatred. Maybe you got bullied by a football player and now you paint all football players with the same brush. Maybe your pride for your country is blinding your perspective of another country. Maybe you are holding on to hatred that was passed down through generations. Maybe you live in the hood and you see no way out, or you right in the center of the violence and thinking about getting your get back at this moment. Man, I just really hope this video and the cycle of hatred speech helps those who are struggling to overcome hatred to be able to move forward and break the cycle of hatred. You can find a pain cycle of hatred speech on YouTube in English or in sub. It is a great watch. God bless y'all, and that's all, folks.